What's going on, everyone? So, Scream 7 is supposed to have a secret cameo, right? That's been a kind of talking point. I've explored different possibilities, different potentials in previous videos on who that could be. Thing is that, like, secret cameo could literally be anybody, right? It could be a character from the past. It could be a new character that, it maybe, because we know Scream 8 is already greenlit. So it could be a new character that, is kind of you just see for a moment that will actually carry over into Scream 8. It can't, like, secret cameo can't be anybody like a Stu or anything like that, because we know Matthew Lillard's returning. We know it can't be any of the actors or actresses that we know have returned, because I've seen people like, what is Stu? And if it's Stu at the end, well, that wouldn't be a secret cameo because we already know Stu's in it. Like, him actually being alive would be the cliffhanger side of things, or the shock side of things. But no, it'd have to be either a character from the past, somebody that they're going to set up in Scream 8 that you just get briefly, or it could be like a celebrity or something like that, right? Like, most of these Scream movies get, familiar faces that people recognize and something. So it could be, there's several approaches that they can go. But one thing I talked about not too long ago was the idea of Leslie Macher, right? Now, I'm just using Anna Camp's pictures just so I don't have to keep using silhouette pictures, so there's actually more visual, right? But, I don't necessarily think it's going to be Anna Camp as Leslie Macher. I know a lot of people do. Just her, like, Anna Camp's age, she'd have to play older, which, she could, but usually actors and actresses play younger. She'd have to play older. And I just think, again, like, Sydney, you're telling me Sydney wouldn't recognize her? Like, because again, they painted themselves into Leslie Macher being older, right? She has to be older than Sydney and everybody, because she wasn't at home, during the events in 96. And she also has a kid that's, 20 in their mid 20s when they died. And now we're talking another like 5 years later by the time this actually happened. So she's got to be, late 40s, almost 50, like, so again, they painted themselves into a timeline. Now, could they do something where they hope you don't notice? Sure, but I think that'd be a little silly. And then two, again, it's like, wouldn't Sydney recognize her? Like, I understand, like, it's different when you're a kid. Like, if Leslie Macher was, 10 during the events in 96 and she wasn't there because, she was with the family on the trip, because you can't leave your 10-year-old at home, right? Type thing. So, sure, right? Like, I can imagine Sydney not recognizing her because, it's like, you look very different from age 10 to 40, right? But like from 25 to 40, like, you're kind of, you at least have most of you, unless there's some like drastic weight change. You go from like 300 pounds to like 115, or like 115 pounds, like 300 pounds. Like, unless there's something, or you do like, cosmetic work or whatever, which, that was the thing in Scream 2. Like, oh, a lot of work, a lot of weight loss and work later was the whole thing, right? Like, but even Sydney recognized her immediately. And again, Anna Camp is supposed to be somebody that is like friend, like hangs out with Sydney regularly. It's not supposed to be just like somebody in, like, I can understand, like, if she just like walked into the coffee shop or whatever, it's like, you might not recognize them then, but to like hang out with them every day, it's like mannerisms, all that stuff, like, God, and there's somebody from a small town that she would have grown up with and been familiar with, right? But I don't think it's Anna Camp. I just am using her images just to, again, kind of give you some visuals. But to get back on track, because little bit of a tangent there, but for me, I think Leslie Macher could be that secret cameo, right? Is it an actress that we're familiar with? That I don't know. But the secret cameo doesn't have to necessarily be whoever the actor actress is. It could be the character, right? And I made a video a little while ago, and go check it out after this one, diving into how you don't need to develop Leslie Macher, right? Like, I don't think you should have Leslie Macher in this at all. I think you should have, like, well, not at all, but like until the very end, right? Like, I don't think you should have Anna Camp be Leslie Macher, because again, you're not developing Leslie Macher. You're developing whatever Anna Camp, like let's say Anna Camp's character's name is Samantha Jacobs, right? Whatever. Right? Like you're developing Samantha Jacobs. You're not developing Leslie Macher. We're not going to know she's Leslie Macher till the very end. Like it's the Mrs. Loomis thing. Like you could have just had Mrs. Loomis show up at the end. You built the Debbie Salt character for nothing, right? Because it's not a character that actually exists. That's the whole point, right? Like, I mean, even Debbie Salt tells you that, right? Like, good luck trying to find Debbie Salt. She doesn't exist, type thing, right? Like, so again, it's one of those things where, to me, I don't think you need to develop Leslie Macher. I think you could, fans know her, people are familiar with her. You're going to do the 10-minute dialogue anyway, where you're going to explain everything anyway. So to me, use like Anna Camp and stuff like that as a red herring of like, oh, she is Leslie Macher, blah, 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 and lead us down that rabbit trail to, in the end, it's like, oh, no, it's not Leslie Macher. Leslie Macher pops up at the end. She's the secret cameo, right? And then, you get the 10-minute dialogue explaining everything. Again, you don't have to develop Leslie Macher. You don't need to, because again, you're not going to develop Leslie Macher. You're going to develop whatever character there is. So instead of developing a character that has no relevance, because Leslie Macher is the relevance, right? So again, if you have Samantha Jacobs is irrelevant. You're just building that character to try to mislead an audience. For what? Right? Like, let people think it. You know what's a great way to mislead the audience? Make everyone think that Samantha Jacobs is Leslie, and then in the end, it's really not Leslie, and she ends up dying, and then Leslie's at the end, and it's like, haha. Right? And then you can spend, the 10 minutes or whatever developing what you need to develop. And then if you want to have Stu back, you have Stu back. Like, you do everything. Right? That is kind of the approach I'd go. So it would make sense if that's the case, right? If they were to go that route, then you could have, then Leslie Macher could be the secret cameo. Leslie Macher could be the one that you end up getting at the end, and that's the kind of quick little, whatever, 10-minute cameo or whatever, 15-minute cameo that plays in this film. And then that would tie in the story. And again, you're laying the Easter eggs for Leslie Macher. So in ways you are developing Leslie Macher as a character, because you're going to, this appears to be very Stu-esque focus, right? So you're going to have Stu elements, and you're going to lay the foundation, the Easter eggs for everything, to where it's only one of two options. Either A, Stu is really back, or B, it's Leslie Macher. Right? Now, technically you could have both, right? Like, but I'm saying, like, Stu, even if Stu is there, Leslie Macher, they're probably not going to be working together, and they're just going to kill Stu, right? Like, because that'd be a little underwhelming, right? So my guess is that if Stu is alive, he'd actually be the guy in Scream 8, where Leslie be the one in Scream 7. So again, like, you're going to build and establish and set this all up, and it's going to be very Stu focused. You're going to be developing like, oh, hey, it's Leslie Macher. Maybe even have, Sydney or somebody go like, do you think it could be Leslie type thing? Now, you basically get everything you need. And then at the end, it's like, here you go. Here's Leslie. Boom. Right? So I think Leslie Macher, I just think the more that, like, I think it through, the more that I kind of, go over, like, kind of these little details that we keep getting and stuff, like, the more it kind of seems like, yeah, that actually makes probably the most sense that it would be Leslie Macher is the one at the end that ends up getting revealed. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? If you would, thoughts, do you agree, disagree, kind of mix in the middle, how you feel? I love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Else, not, if you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.